1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Mandolin land, Mike Henning here, coming today with the old traditional tune Foggy Mountain Top in the key of G. I kind of worked up what I would call an advanced beginner arrangement with this. We're going to keep it pretty simple, but kind of using some classic bluegrass solo shapes in the key of G. A lot of the ideas in this lesson could be applied to a lot of songs in the key of G. Doc Watson did a great version of this. Obviously, the father of bluegrass, Bill Monroe, had a great version of this. Flat and Scruggs, a lot of the bluegrass greats have done this song. It's a good one to know. We've got two solos that we're going to break down, note for note, just as I played at the beginning. And then for the backup, we'll go over the chords, but I've done a lot of lessons in the key of G. So for this lesson, we're also going to talk a little bit more on doing some fills kind of for backup. How do we play around the vocal lines? We're going to dive more into that in the backup section for this lesson. All right, enough talking. Here's the first solo to Foggy Mountain Top in the key of G. Here we go. All right, let's start breaking down this first solo to Foggy Mountain Top in the key of G. So let's play the first like 5 measures. That'll be like the opening melody line, then we'll start breaking it down. Here we go. Do that a few times, do it really slow. A little faster. Okay, so we're going to start in G, right? We're in the key of G, and we're going to start with this classic kind of bluegrass pickup. We're going to ring finger on the 5th fret of the D string, and then index finger 2nd fret on the A string, and then middle finger 3rd fret. And what I'm going to do is kind of cut those notes off to help them pop out. So I'm kind of actually, it's not, normally you might want to keep the pressure down like that, but in this case we actually want to cut the pressure off to help those pop out. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to reach my ring finger up to the 5th fret, which is going to be our melody note, and then we're adding a harmony, so I'm going to move my middle finger to the 3rd fret of the high E string so I can play 2 notes to fill it up. The main note you want to get is this 5th fret down first though. Think of the 3rd fret on the high string as extra credit, right? So if you can't get that one down, don't worry about it. Just play the 5th fret on its own. It's fine. But again, to make it sound more like bluegrass, we're going to fill that up by playing what's called a double stop, 2 notes at once. So we play that, and then I'm going to do down, ups the rest of the measure. So you have 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and. Good right hand practice, right? Our melody note is this. This is the harmony. You want to make sure you're getting both of them, especially on the downs, but more importantly on the ups. It's easy to only hit the top one on the ups, and then you lose kind of some of the melody. So try and get both on the way down and both on the way up. So again, you have, so it'd be 1, 2, 3, 4. We're also going to use that rule of down strokes on the downbeats, up strokes on the upbeats. So again, we're starting with 3 down strokes because it's 3 quarter notes. 1, down, 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 and then down, down, up, down, up, down, up. That's really going to help you play the timing if you follow that pick direction rhythm. I also have the pick direction listed below, right? The staple looking symbols below the tab are the down strokes, the V's are the up strokes. So again, one more time, 1. So get really comfortable with this shape. We're going to use this a lot. You can also move it to the middle strings for like a C, right? This is G, C. The other thing you can practice is basically this position, like your 2-finger G, and then going to this shape. Also doing it on C or F. Very common little bluegrass move. That's kind of what we're doing. We're just playing that one note in between. I'm kind of almost thinking of this shape and then going into this shape, right? So I like thinking in terms of those chord shapes. And And then we walk kind of back down the notes. 2, open, 5. And then we do 3 downs, ups on the 5th fret. And then open, which is just going to help us get to the next lick. So we have, that's measure 3. And then on the C, we're going to go 2nd fret, on the D, 5, 5, 5, 2. So notice the pick direction there. Down, up, down, up, down, down. That'll really help you play the rhythm. And then open D, and then 5th fret, and then walk it back up. So kind of, instead of just going, we just did a little more picking. We went, and then we're going to get back into our melody line again. So this melody kind of has a call and response, right? So the initial call is C. Pretty much all melody there, kind of stuck to the melody. One thing to notice in measure 3, we use that little open string to just help us transition, right? Technically, probably the melody, if you were singing, it would be something more like this. Right? Not throwing that little open D string. But it gives it a little bit more movement. It also just gives your hand a quick second. And it kind of helps separate the phrase to my ear. So we have... It's not exactly the melody, but it just fills it up. It kind of gives it bluegrass language, if that makes sense. So we have... Starts again. Measure 6 is the same as measure 2, so back up into that double stop. And then a little lick, we go. So kind of, measure 7 is kind of walking from a G into a D chord. We're going. And then open A. Slide 4 to 7 on the D string, which is the same as that A note if you're in tune, and then we're just filling it up. So we have, and then a little lick. So we open, and then open 4 on the D, and then open on the A, and then 2nd fret. So what we're doing here, right, the melody would be, probably if you were singing it just like a long note there, not that interesting to just let one note ring out. So what we're doing, again, is finding that note on a lower string and then sliding into it. And then also filling it up with down-up picking. Again, it's kind of trying to mimic a long note, either on a violin, right, or a vocal. That's what we're kind of trying to mimic there. So we have, from measure 7. So remember, I said it's a call and response, right? So the call is... response